Okie dokie, boys and girls, it is day 46 of overcoming injuries, and today let's talk about failure. And I'm not talking about failing to hit a goal or failing to heal an injury. I am talking about going to failure in a set. And the reason I want to talk about this is because people often ask me, like, how am I able to recover from all the training I do? And, how often do I go to failure? Should they go to failure? Is it good to go to failure? All of these questions regarding failure, how often should you go to failure, right? All of these questions, and well, today I'm going to try and answer a little bit of them. So today I'm doing a strength workout, so it will be largely in the context of strength training, but I think it applies to basically all kinds of training. It could be endurance, it could even be running or cycling or whatever, right? So when it comes to failure, I think it's a very useful tool, but it should be used with caution because the consequences are very big. And by that I mean, when you're doing a sit, you go from 0% tiredness to 100%. That's your failure, right? But the amount of time it takes to recover from a sit isn't linear. It's not, going from 0 to 100% like this in a straight line. Rather, you're going in kind of a bend line, As you go further towards failure, it will take exponentially longer to recover from. So you could, recover quite quickly from a set where you went to 80 to 90%, but when you go beyond that 90% and it's 95 and 100%, that's when it starts to take multiple days or perhaps even a week or two to recover from the set, depending on how far you went, right? Especially endurance sets completely going to failure or beyond failure, those ones are going to take a while to recover from. And so use your tools carefully because once you hit that failure set, you're not going to recover for a while. And so you miss out, or yes, you get a big stimulus, of course, but you miss out on, more adaptation to the movement, doing more sets, right? Getting more volume, hitting that time under tension, which when it comes to building strength or endurance is very important. And so for me as well, right? I go to failure sometimes, but most of my training is not to failure. For example, before I started recording, I did some calf raises, not failure. I did some crab walks, I did some push-ups, I did some grease the groove, normal push-ups. I did planche push-ups and I did, normal push-ups. All of these were not to failure, right? I just did a warm-up set, not to failure. I am going to do my main sets for the strength workout today in the one-arm pull-up. Those I will perhaps go to a point where I am not able to do another rep, but I am not going to attempt my last rep and fail it, or at least I am trying to go, or I am trying to stay away from failure, right? I'm going to try to make sure that I don't hit reps that I am not able to do. And so the reason I'm able to recover is because I use, the failure very carefully. I perhaps use it once a workout at most, maybe two times if it's a very heavy workout, like on Monday, for example. But anyway, yeah, first I'm gonna, continue my training, do some warm-up pull-ups, and then in between sits, we can talk about a bit more about the failure thing. All right. So this is kind of 3 reps. I'm gonna be completely honest. I thought I would be able to get 3 reps with 8 kilos on the one-arm pull-up quite comfortably. I didn't. So technically, I just went to failure. But there's one important distinction here. I attempted the 3rd rep and I didn't really keep grinding. I just realized, like, hey, I got halfway, good, let's end the rep. And so this is very important because if you truly go to failure, no matter how long you rest, whether it's 5 or 10 minutes, the performance on your following sets is going to be way less. That's just inevitable because you have to recover. And especially when you're doing sets like 8, 10, 12, or 50 reps, right? You're gonna feel it. You're gonna be sore just from that set. You're gonna have to recover. You're not gonna be able to replicate it. If it's true failure, you won't even be able to do half the reps in your second set. And so what I try to avoid is going to failure in my main sets, right? In my workout, in general, I have two parts, or perhaps three. Sometimes I have kind of a warm-up part, but I have my main sets, right? These are my working sets where I try to get some volume, right? Not go to failure, but just to try and get some volume. Try and do sets that are consistent and a little bit better than last time. So last time on the one-arm pull-up, I did 3 sets of 2 reps with 7 kilos. Today I have 8 kilos, right? And I try to do 2 to 3 reps again, right? And well, I got 2.5, but I am not gonna, go beyond my limit to try and get that third rep completely, because then I wouldn't be able to do the remaining 2 sets, right? If I would, well, that would be less volume. And so failure is really something for afterwards, after you're done with your main sets. It's something you do on your last set. Anyway, I am going to do the remaining 2 sets, and I'll see you on the other side. Ow, my knee. Well, aside from the knee, very good sit. Oh, that actually hurt. But a very good sit, and the fact that I'm able to do the pull-ups with about the same ease as the first set means that I didn't go too far on the first one, right? If I did go too far, I wouldn't even be able to do 2 reps right now, but I am gonna do one more set, so let's go. All right, very nice. 3 sets done, and I think that's gonna be it for today. And I will not do any finisher sets. And finisher sets, that's the name I give to sets where I do them at the end of the workout to kind of burn out and to completely go to failure. It's the sets I do when I want to give my body an extra strong stimulus, because guess what? After those, like going to failure, you do get stronger quite a lot because your body is just in shock, right? Of course, if you recover. But there is a reason I don't do it today. It takes days and days to recover from those failure sets. And, so basically what I want to say is use those failure sets when you know that you won't be training again, or at least not the same body part, for quite a while, for at least 3 to 4 days, I would say, right? If you're going to failure, probably it's best like you do it once or twice a week, right? And for me, I have another pull workout in 2 days on Friday. Today's Wednesday, and then I have another one on Sunday. And so perhaps on Sunday I will think to myself like, hey, I have 2 days to recover. Maybe I'll go to I'll do a failure set or almost a failure set to get a bit of a stronger stimulus. But right now I know that tomorrow I have rest and then I have to go again. And so if I would go to failure right now, I would actually not be recovered to do the workout over again in a couple days, I think 2 days. And in 2 days, I want to do this workout again. I want to do like weighted one-arm pull-ups with 8 kilos and just aim to do a little bit better than today. But if I go to failure today, I won't be able to recover, Going hard is only useful if you recover afterwards. And so that's basically the most important takeaway for this video. But anyway, that's gonna be it for today's training. I am gonna do some grease in the groove push-ups, not to failure off camera, just to build some volume for my chest, because I do want to get those 1,000 push-ups. But other than that, for today's pull day, I think we are completed. So I'll see you tomorrow for, well, kind of a rest day, like skill-based workout. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. So I'll see you then.